Welcome back to Nerdscape Odyssey. I'm Tyler, the gaming dad, and today I'm joined by my co-host and wife, Ashley, the nerd mom.
It has been a hot minute, but finally we've actually, gotten a chance to record this video. I've been excited for it for weeks now because we've had this research going on behind the scenes. But finally we're here.
Yeah, we wanted to do it a lot sooner, but life got in the way, but we still decided to put our 2 cents in anyway.
Sickness as well.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been sick, yeah.
Sick, kids have been sick. But yeah, Amazon is officially making a Mass Effect television show. And that's what this video is about. But they've already made one decision that has split the entire fandom right down the middle. They're ditching Commander Shepard. Is this the smartest move they could have possibly made, saving the show from the curse of the bad video game adaptations? Or is it a massive, irreversible betrayal of what made Mass Effect so great in the first place? Well, let's break it down.
So for years, a Mass Effect adaptation has been the white whale of the video game to Hollywood pipeline. We've heard the whispers, we've seen the rumors, and we've even survived the collapse of a planned movie with Legendary Pictures over a decade ago. We've been holding our breath, just waiting for someone to finally get it right. And now it looks like that moment has finally come. Amazon MGM Studios is developing a live-action Mass Effect series. The gears are turning, a creative team is in place, and the project is, by all accounts, deep in development.
Exactly, but along with this seemingly good news came a bombshell. On a past N7 day, BioWare's own Michael Gamble, who is an executive producer on the project, made it pretty clear the show is going to tell an original story set after the trilogy. And just in case that wasn't clear enough, he stressed that the story of the games, Shepard's story, is your story. The implication is unavoidable. This show will not be about Commander Shepard. The reaction here was immediate and seismic. For some, it was a sigh of relief, but for others, it was an outright declaration of war on a project that hasn't even shot a single frame. The central pillar here of the Mass Effect universe, the one character who connected all three games, has been deliberately moved from the equation.
So, this is the massive galaxy-sized question that we need to tackle. Is a Mass Effect story without Shepard even Mass Effect at all?
That's a good question.
We're gonna get into every angle of this. It's gonna be a long one. We'll look at the confirmed details, the team that's been assembled, the arguments for why this is a catastrophic betrayal, and the very compelling arguments for why this might just be a stroke of genius.
Yeah, we're gonna play devil's advocate here.
Yeah. Most importantly, we'll put this whole situation into context by holding it up to the shining example of Fallout and the cautionary tale of Halo. This is more than just a casting decision, it's a philosophical choice about what an adaptation should be, and it's going to define whether this whole thing succeeds or fails.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, guys, so grab your popcorn, get ready, and get in a nice relaxing position. Now, before we get lost in all the speculation and passionate arguments, let's just lay out all the facts here. What do we actually know about this project right now? It's easy to drown in rumors, so let me just stick to the confirmed details here so that you don't get confused. First, the studio. This is happening under Amazon MGM Studios banner. That's a big deal because Amazon has shown its willingness to throw monumental budgets at its big sci-fi and fantasy shows, like The Rings of Power, which we also have done videos on. It's a very good show. They've got the cash to give Mass Effect the high production, cinematic quality it absolutely needs. It also seems confirmed that it's a live-action series, which just makes sense for a sprawling space opera like Mass Effect.
Now, the team. The people shaping this show are a mix of Hollywood blockbuster veterans and, critically, a key figure from BioWare. The showrunner is Doug Jung, I think, Jung? who has credits like Star Trek Beyond and Mindhunter. The script is being written by Daniel Casey, known for his work on F9, The Fast Saga. The list of executive producers includes some heavy hitters. We have Ari Arad, who has a long history with Marvel projects like Iron Man and successful game adaptations like Uncharted and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse, right? Not universe. Yeah. And then, of course, we do have Kareem Zreik, and I apologize if I pronounce that wrong. Kareem was actually involved with Marvel's Netflix shows like Daredevil.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's some heavy hitters there. Some of like I know that some of those names might worry some people, especially with the new Star Trek series. So it's got some mixed reviews there, but there's some heavy hitters there. And then there's the most important name on the list for fans, Michael Gambel. As a game director at BioWare and a franchise veteran, his role as an executive producer is one of our best hopes for keeping the show true to the canon. His involvement is a deliberate move here to make sure the show aligns with established lore and, more importantly, the next Mass Effect game. Gamble himself has emphasized the close partnership between BioWare and Amazon is a good sign. So we've got a studio with deep pockets and a team with sci-fi and action experience and a direct line to the source material. So far, so good, right?
But here's where things get complicated. Let's talk about the show's status and the whole non-gamer friendly controversy. A while back, a report from the industry newsletter, The Ankler, claimed that while the project was in development, it was being held up. The report said Amazon's head of global TV, Peter Friedlander, wanted rewrites to make the series more accessible to people who've never picked up a controller, the dreaded non-gamer friendly directive.
Yeah.
So this sent a wave of panic through the community. Of course, fans were worried Amazon was, about to water down the rich, complex lore of Mass Effect just to appeal to the widest possible audience. The backlash was so intense that writer Daniel Casey actually went on social media to address the rumors. He said the whole non-gamer rewrite thing was news to him.
Yeah.
And that no one actually had given him that directive. This public denial complicates the story. Was the Ankler's report just exaggerated, miscommunication, or is there some truth to Amazon wanting to broaden the show's appeal, even if they aren't explicitly telling the team to dumb it down? The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, and of course, Amazon wants a show that appeals to everybody.
Yeah, widest audience possible.
Exactly. They want a global hit, not just something for the existing fan base. But Casey's denial suggests the creative team is being trusted to handle that balancing act without gutting the soul of the franchise.
Now, finally, the timeline. The consensus from all reports, and backed by BioWare's philosophy, is that the show will take place after the events of Mass Effect 3. This is a huge decision and neatly avoids having to adapt the game's story beat for beat. It also opens up Pandora's box of questions about which ending is canon and what the galaxy even looks like now. It's going to be an original story with new characters designed to explore new territory in the Mass Effect timeline. BioWare's logic is that the games were your story to shape and that they don't want to step on that at all. So to recap, it's an Amazon show in pre-production with a blockbuster creative team and BioWare's oversight. It's set after the games, and it's an original story, and it won't star Commander Shepard. There were whispers of network concerns about accessibility, but the writer shot those down. This is the foundation for all of our hopes and fears.
Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the big one. The decision that has caused more anger and more anxiety than anything else. Getting rid of Commander Shepard, which for me, I don't really know what to think about that.
Well, I'm assuming some people's eyes are twitching.
I think it could go well, but then it could also go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But for a huge part of the fandom, this isn't just a creative choice. It's a sign that they fundamentally misunderstand the source material. It feels like a betrayal. To get why, you have to get what Commander Shepard represents.
Everything.
Exactly, the whole game. Shepard isn't just a character in a story. Shepard is the player. Over 3 massive games for hundreds of hours, we didn't just watch Shepard's journey, we lived it.
Yeah, you are Commander Shepard.
Yeah, we made the choices, we built the relationships, we felt the weight of the galaxy on our own shoulders. Shepard is a vessel for our morality, our heroism. Oh my gosh, I can talk, I swear, guys. And sometimes our ruthlessness. I'm actually pretty sure we died and then came back to life as Shepard.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they literally brought Shepard back to life. So there's some importance in this.
You spent thousands of hours being Commander Shepard, and now you're going to be thrown into someone else's skin. It's an interesting decision.
Yeah.
But let's get down to the Paragon and Renegade system. The Paragon Renegade system wasn't just a game mechanic. It was the deep role-playing tool that let us define who Commander Shepard even was. Was your Commander Shepard a compassionate hero who always tried to save everyone, or was your Shepard just a pragmatic soldier who made the hard, ugly choices for the greater good? Or was he just an asshole? Most of us were somewhere in between, and that's the whole point. The character was a reflection of who you were.
I always tried to be the best Commander Shepard.
Right? Make all the good choices. Be the Captain America.
Yep.
Boy Scout Commander Shepard. Yep, most people did. So when Amazon says they're ditching the Shepard to avoid canonizing one version, what a lot of fans hear is this: we don't want to deal with the very thing that made the Mass Effect trilogy even special. They hear that the interactive story is being treated like a problem to be solved, not the core feature that actually should be celebrated. Think about the most iconic moments: the confrontation on Vermoy and the impossible choice it actually forces on you. The entire suicide mission in Mass Effect 2, where your choices directly affect on who actually lives and dies, that final desperate charge on Earth, all of those moments are extremely powerful because they're happening to your Shepard, the one you built, and seeing some generic protagonist go through similar motions, it's just not going to hit the same.
I actually looked up to see what choices to make to save every character, because I didn't want to let anyone go.
Yeah, you get too attached to them.
Right? Like you're building these relationships.
They become your friends.
Yeah. But as I was mentioning just seconds ago, what about those relationships? The connections Shepard forged with the Normandy crew are the heart and soul of this franchise, and my personal favorite is always going to be Joker.
Yeah, everyone loves Joker. He better be in the show.
There's also the bromance with Garrus, the will they won't they with Tali, the deep connection with Liara. These weren't just side characters, they were our family. A show set in a post-Shepard galaxy risks cutting us off from these characters that we love so much.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe some of them could show up, older and grizzled. We might get a cameo from an aged Garrus, or a powerful matriarch Liara. But without Shepard as the focus, what's their purpose?
Yeah.
They risk becoming hollow fan service, just ghosts of a story that happened off screen. Everything they did was for Shepard.
And if you have them in, are you going to put them in and have a story where Commander Shepard died? Or did Commander Shepard never exist in the first place? Like, how do you put them in?
You can't have Shepard not exist, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Otherwise, how did they get together?
Yeah, they literally were mismatched people who were just off doing random things, and you collected them.
Yeah.
Like, you made them family. So they can't just say Shepard didn't exist.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The argument that you can't canonize Shepard just seems like a failure of imagination to a lot of people. Great adaptations find ways to translate the spirit of the source material. Could they have created a version of Shepard that embodies the best of both Paragon and Renegade? Absolutely. It would be hard, yeah. It would take amazing screenwriting. But since when is it's too hard a good reason not to do something?
Yeah.
Taking on the challenge of adapting Shepard is the whole point. Dodging it feels like taking the easy way out.
Besides, Shepard is the face of the franchise. It's Shepard's N7 armor that's so iconic in the first place. It's Mark Mears or Jennifer Hale's voice that we hear in our heads. Removing your most single recognizable element is a massive marketing gamble, one that could turn out or it could just flop flat on its face. But you're asking people to get invested in a Mass Effect story without the one thing everyone actually associates with Mass Effect. Imagine a Lord of the Rings adaptation that just decides Frodo is just too complicated and instead just decides to tell a story about a different hobbit who finds a different ring. Imagine a Harry Potter without Harry. It sounds absurd, right?
But like Master Chief and Halo with no Master Chief. How long would that series?
Yeah, that wouldn't have even lasted one episode. But it sounds absurd, right? But for many, that's exactly what this actually feels like. It feels like they're gutting the core of the experience and promising the shell will actually still be satisfying. It's a promise a lot of fans just aren't willing to believe. For them, a Mass Effect without Shepard isn't Mass Effect at all. It's just another generic sci-fi wearing the N7 logo as a disguise.
Okay, let's take a deep breath. We've gone through the emotional argument for why dropping Shepard feels like a betrayal. I think we covered that to death.
Yeah.
But it's a valid argument that comes from a place of love. But now we need to put on our showrunner hat. We need to think about this not as fans, but as creators trying to make a successful TV show for a global audience.
Which is a different thought process than the thought process.
And we've both played Mass Effect a couple of times, so it's a bit of a stretch
Lots
for
of
us.
hours on that game.
But from the perspective, ditching Commander Shepard isn't just a good idea. It might be the only decision that gives this show a fighting chance. The single biggest problem with adapting the trilogy directly is Commander Shepard. Not because Shepard is a bad character, but because Shepard is not a single character. Shepard is a million players.
Yeah.
My stoic paragon female Shepard who romanced Garrus is fundamentally different from your renegade male Shepard who punched the reporter and romanced Miranda.
Yeah.
Both are 100% valid canon versions of Shepard.
Oh yeah, definitely. So how do you put that on the screen? The second you cast an actor, you've disappointed half a fan base. The second that actor makes any choice at all, you are actively invalidating the choices of millions of players. Do you make the Paragon path canon? Or you've just told everyone who loved playing Renegade that they've been playing the game wrong this whole time. The whole point of playing Mass Effect is choice and consequence. A TV show is by nature a passive, linear experience. Trying to force the game's branching story into one television narrative would be an absolute massacre. It would strip down the story of its defining feature. BioWare said it best: Shepard is your story. Forcing the one version of it onto the screen would actually be the ultimate betrayal. Way worse than just telling a new story at all.
And that is honestly the only thing I can think of just even maybe making Shepard non-existent. Yeah. Maybe they create something else to bring the others in as a family or a generic.
Yeah, exactly. Because then at that point, you need to either make the other characters not exist or create a different story that makes them meet.
It's gonna be tough for these guys. It's gonna be very tough.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a Herculean task that's set before them. But let's call this the Uncharted movie problem. The movie was a fun adventure flick, but for a lot of people who played the games, it was a weird experience. We weren't watching Nathan Drake, we were watching Tom Holland play Nathan Drake. We spent hundreds of hours embodying Shepard. Seeing an actor try to replicate that, no matter how good they are in the first place, it would just feel hollow. It would feel like a performance, not reality, and that's not the point of movies and television shows. They're trying to make this to be as realistic as possible. By creating a new protagonist, the show actually gives itself a clean slate. We can meet this character on their own terms, without the baggage of our own gameplay coloring every single screen.
Now, think about the creative freedom this unlocks. The Mass Effect universe is vast. It's an incredibly rich setting with thousands of years of lore.
Yeah.
We've got the First Contact War. We have the Krogan rebellions. We have the Geth. We have the Rachni Wars. The list just goes on and on. The games only scratch the surface of what's possible.
Yep.
By unchaining the show from Shepard's specific journey, the writers are free to explore any corner of this universe they want. And I was one of those players that went to every single planet and had to get every single thing on that planet.
Oh, most people that were watching this video probably are.
Yep. They could tell a smaller, more intimate story, a political thriller on the Citadel, a noir detective story on Ilium, a gritty survival story on Tuchanka. They could tell a story that isn't about one person saving the entire galaxy, which, let's be honest, is a story we've already experienced.
And think of the spin-offs that could happen.
Right? The universe of Mass Effect is the true main character, not Shepard. Shepard was just our lens for all three games. Now that, of course, is really big, but this show is offering us a new lens, a new perspective on a world we already love. This isn't a betrayal in a sense, it's more of an expansion. It's a sign that the creators trust the world they built to be interesting enough to stand on its own, without having to lean on the crutch of one hero. So this is a move that shows confidence. It says, we love this world so much, we want to show you a part of it that you've never seen before. And meanwhile, that could be extremely scary. It does favor a long-term world building over short-term fan service. It's the harder path in many ways, but it's the one with a much higher ceiling for success.
Oh, yeah.
And to see why, we have to look at the two most important recent examples of video game adaptations.
Oh, yes. Okay, so in this section, we're going to break this down into two actual adaptations, Fallout and Halo. We've already done a video on Halo and what we thought about it. We actually enjoyed it, despite the fact that we understand why the fan base didn't. But from now on, every single video game adaptation is actually going to be judged on these two shows, Halo and Fallout. These two series actually represent a perfect split on how to adapt a game. They are the angel and the devil on every showrunner's shoulder, and understanding them is a key to figuring out if Mass Effect is destined for glory or infamy. Let's start with the cautionary tale of Halo. We loved the show. Again, we've done a video on it.
I'm so sad it got canceled.
Yeah, we're looking forward to continuing on watching it. We watched the first season, but we didn't watch the second season because, again, it got canceled. And
I'm still debating the second season because I am so curious.
It ends on a cliffhanger, apparently.
I know.
Or cliffhanger.
It's going to drive me nuts.
Yep. But with Halo, the Paramount Plus series is a masterclass in how to completely misunderstand your own source material. On paper, it had absolutely everything. A huge budget, a beloved franchise, and an iconic hero and Master Chief. The problem was, the showrunners' creators seemed almost embarrassed by the game that they were actually adapting. They took the core pieces, Master Chief and Cortana, the Covenant, and dropped them into what felt like a generic, unrelated sci-fi show.
The most infamous decision, of course, was having Master Chief take his helmet off in the very first episode.
Yeah.
For fans, that was a cardinal sin. That was something that should not have ever happened. The helmet isn't just armor, it's a symbol of who Chief is. Many felt like the show threw that away for cheap, unearned drama.
Yeah.
But the problems went way deeper. They introduced new characters that nobody cared about. They changed the lore in ways that confused many, and they seemed to believe that to make Halo serious television, they had to strip out everything that made it feel like a game.
Yeah, like Cortana. Cortana would have never, ever been against Master Chief at all.
And see, I never played the game, so that's probably why I loved it so much.
Yeah.
To me, it was completely new.
She was always with him every step of the way.
Interesting. I might have to play the game now. The result was a show that made the core fanbase feel alienated, which, to be honest, is more than half of the show's potential ratings down the tubes.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the gold standard, there's Fallout. And that's another game that we played, another show that we absolutely loved. The adaptation for Amazon Prime Video is a triumph, and it's a triumph built on the exact opposite philosophy of Halo. The most brilliant thing that they did was the very thing we're talking about for Mass Effect. They didn't adapt any of the games.
Exactly. There's no TV version of The Lone Wanderer or The Courier. Instead, they told a brand new story with 3 new protagonists. But here's the crucial part. While the story was new, the world was 100% authentic. The show is dripping with love and respect for the Fallout universe. Every detail from the Nuka-Cola caps to the sound of the Pip-Boy was meticulously recreated. The show remixed the lore instead of just retelling it. It took the established ideas, the Vaults, the Brotherhood of Steel, Vault-Tech's evil, and used them as building blocks for their own story. It didn't need to retell Fallout 3 because it understood that the idea of a naive vault dweller stepping into the wasteland is actually what's powerful here. It created its own version of that with Lucy, and it understood what makes the Brotherhood of Steel so interesting in the first place, and actually explored that through Maximus.
The Fallout show proved that you could have it all. You can make a show that's completely accessible to newcomers, while also being a rich, rewarding experience for longtime fans like Tyler and I.
Yeah.
It respected the intelligence of both audiences. It didn't dumb anything down. It just trusted that a well-realized world and a compelling story would be enough. And it was right. So what does this mean for Mass Effect? It means everything.
Exactly.
Those non-game friendly rewrites that the Inkler reported on are terrifying if you think about them through the Halo lens.
Yeah.
It sounds like a mandate to strip out the lore, simply the politics, and turn Mass Effect into basically a generic space action.
Yeah, exactly. But you look at it through Fallout's eyes, and it's brilliant because my mother watches Fallout, and I can promise you she has never played Fallout.
She couldn't even get past the first 5 minutes of that game.
No, she is not a gamer at all.
No.
But if you think about it through that lens, that same idea sounds very different. It sounds like a mandate to do what Fallout did. Tell an original story that anyone can actually appreciate, including my mother. It means not getting bogged down, explaining what a biotic actually is, but showing it in a spectacular way. It means not explaining the history of the genophage, but showing the pain on the face of a Krogan character living with its consequence. Amazon has now a proven in-house model for success here. The Fallout approach actually works. It avoids the problem of a direct adaptation while delivering on an authentic experience. The decision to ditch Shepard and tell an original post-trilogy story strongly suggests that this path that they're choosing, it's actually the Fallout path. And while it might be scary at first to leave Shepard behind, this framework shows that it's a decision rooted in a desire to create a great TV show, not just a flawed adaptation.
Okay, so if we accept that the Fallout model is the goal, the next big question is, where are we going? What does a post-Mass Effect 3 galaxy even look like? To be honest, what kind of stories can you tell there?
Yeah.
This is where the real speculation begins. The first and biggest hurdle is the ending of Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, how are they going to get over that one?
Right?
There's a lot of different endings.
Oh, it's like good ending, bad ending, I don't even know if there's anything in the middle, but there's so many. The trilogy basically ends with a choice between 3 radically different outcomes: destroy, control, or synthesis.
Yep.
For years, fans have argued about which ending is the best or most likely to be canon. A post-trilogy show has to pick one.
Yep, this is where they actually have to decide.
Let's be honest, all signs point to the destroy ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one where Shepard can technically survive, and it feels the most in line with the game's themes.
Yep.
It also creates the most conflict for a new story. So in the Destroy ending, all synthetic life, including the Reapers, the Geth, and even Edie, but apparently Edie does get wiped out in this version, but the mass relays are also heavily damaged.
Think about the potential there.
I'm sorry, but no Geth. I have to cut in. No Geth, I can't see... Could you actually make friends with a Geth at the end?
Yep, you start fighting them, then you befriend one. But yeah, unless the Quarian remake them, there's going to be no Geth.
But they probably won't remake them because the Geth then tried to destroy them.
Yeah.
Well, the Reapers being gone is good because they were actually the main antagonist.
Yeah.
Yes, antagonist. Edie, if you've ever played the games, Edie was everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So it would definitely be different.
Oh, yes. It's going to be different.
I'm just thinking out loud about the potential.
Mm-hmm. It's a galaxy where the main form of interstellar travel is actually gone as well. Entire systems are just cut off. The central government is powerless. It's a recipe for chaos, a galactic dark age. It's the Wild West scenario, just in deep space. A story set in this world could actually be incredible. It could be about a crew on one ship trying to navigate this new fractured galaxy, reconnecting civilizations. You know, kind of like Star Trek. It would be a story about pioneers in a galaxy we actually thought we knew, but really didn't. But even making the Destroy canon actually has its own cost. What about the Geth? One of the best arcs in the trilogy was actually helping them achieve sentience and peace with the Quarians, the people who made them. The Destroy ending wipes all that away.
That's almost like Criminal.
Yeah, right? A show set after this would have to grapple with the moral fallout of the genocide. It's a heavy place to start, but Mass Effect has never actually been afraid of the dark.
I can't picture Mass Effect without Geth.
It's a hard thing to picture.
I think that's probably going to be my biggest concern for the entire series.
You'd have to make another kind of sentient species that's newly made.
Or have the Quarian, because you help them be sentient, and I mean, you befriend one. Obviously, Tali, who's a Quarian, is in your team. She knows that you befriended one. So maybe they build them again?
It's possible.
I don't know. Oh gosh, that's gonna be... Oh. And yes, you are literally watching me as we do this video just contemplate, oh my gosh, there would actually be no Geth if they did that.
Yep.
Anyways, this post-war setting, it will also let the show tie into the next game, and we know BioWare is developing the next Mass Effect, and Michael Gamble's involvement is a clear sign that the show and game will exist in the same canon. The show could establish... Cool. Yeah. The show could establish the new status quo of the galaxy, introducing characters and factions that will actually pop up in the game, which that I'm excited for. That will be kind of cool. But who will we be following? This is where the show has a chance to shine. We could follow a new N7 operative, someone living in Shepard's shadow. We could follow a diverse crew of aliens, a cynical Tyrian pilot, a young Asari scientist. We could even follow a gruff Krogan mercenary thrown together by circumstance. The rich alien races are one of the Mass Effect's greatest strengths, and a show can actually explore their cultures in a way that the game's never had time to.
Yeah, but there are huge risks as well that come from this. The first is the ghost of Mass Effect, Andromeda.
I actually never played that game. That was the only
You're not missing anything.
That was the only Mass Effect I never played, and it was because people told me not to play it.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. That game also tried to tell a story with a new protagonist in a completely new setting, and the fan reception was, to say the least, kind of mixed. The Amazon series has to learn from Andromeda's mistakes. It needs to feel connected to the Milky Way's history, even as it moves on. Then there's the concern over the creative team. The choice of Daniel Casey as writer has raised some eyebrows. His work on Fast 9 and the Fast Saga is known for its over-the-top action and a kind of loose relationship with coherent plotting, fans are justifiably worried he might bring that same sensibility to the nuanced world of Mass Effect. And if anybody knows anything about sci-fi fans, if you have a loose relationship with coherent plotting, they are going to cook you alive.
It will not be a success if that
Yeah.
happens.
So, can a writer of a movie where a car goes to space handle the political drama of the Solarian Union? It's a fair question. The hope is that the showrunner Doug Jung and BioWare's Michael Gamble will actually keep the story grounded.
A post-Shepard story is a huge gamble. If they do it poorly, it could feel like a soulless sequel, like Andromeda 2.0. But if they do it right, if they can embrace the Fallout model and tell a compelling original story that respects the world, it could be the beginning of a whole new era for Mass Effect,
Yeah,
expanding the universe in ways that we've only ever dreamed of.
exactly.
It's a blank slate, and while that's terrifying, it's also incredibly exciting.
Yeah, like I said, well, think of the spin-offs that could happen.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of anxiety over it, but I also am kind of excited. And the two just keep battling, and
Yeah, like look what's happening with Star Wars. It's getting spin-off after spin-off after spin-off after spin-off.
some are
And
good, some are bad.
and a lot of them are hits.
A lot of them, yeah. There's a couple that are iffy. That's just me though. Could be personal.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've actually looked at the facts and the arguments on both sides. But now I have to turn the question over to you. Where do you guys stand? Is ditching Commander Shepard a brilliant move to give this show the best chance of success? Or is it an unforgivable betrayal that has already killed your excitement for it?
Yeah, let us know your thoughts down in the comments. We want to hear it all, the good, the bad, and the renegade. This is the one of the biggest conversations in gaming right now, and I want to know what this community thinks. And while you're down there, if you enjoyed this and want to stay updated on Mass Effect series, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll be following the story every step of the way. And also, while you're down in the comments, comment down and I want to hear if you actually want one of us to play Mass Effect if you haven't actually played it yourself, because then you could experience the story with us.
I'm definitely interested to see if they actually want to see the storyline on it.
Yeah. I assume most have played it, but if you haven't, let us know. We'll definitely play it with you.
So, here we are. A live-action Mass Effect series after so many years is finally on the horizon. But it's not what any of us expected. This decision to move on from Commander Shepard is definitely, it's I would say a definitive statement from Amazon and BioWare. But it's a declaration that they believe the universe is strong enough to stand on its own.
Which is a good thing, but on one hand, this decision feels like a profound loss. It's the end of a chapter, the hope of seeing our Shepard crew, our choices brought to life for now are just poof out in smoke, and that kind of stings a bit, and it's okay to feel that disappointment.
And the Geth, if they choose to destroy the Geth. I'm gonna be on
I think
that.
if they choose to destroy the Geth, they'll have the Quarian remake them, but just like make an enhancement.
They better. Oh, the Geth.
Or the Quarian will actually remake them and appreciate their individuality.
Yeah, for those of you who have not played the game, the Geth, like Tyler stated earlier, it's almost like a Frankenstein thing.
Yes.
The Quarian made the Geth. The Geth were supposed to be basically their robotic, like, servants.
But they became
self-aware.
Yes.
They actually had personalities. They became an actual race. And so the Quarians were trying to still control them, but the Geth rebelled, and then there you have that war.
Yeah, the Quarians basically wanted the Geth to be their slaves, and the Geth fought back.
Pretty much. But anyways, on the other hand, there is a choice born from pragmatism and creative ambition. It's a choice that acknowledges the unique challenge of adapting an interactive story and smartly sidesteps it for creative freedom. It's a choice that follows the successful blueprint laid down by Fallout. It puts faith in the richness of the world itself and betting that now we have new stories that can be just as compelling as basically the one that we already have played and loved for thousands of hours.
Yeah, exactly. But in the end, ditching Shepard, it is a massive gamble. I'm not going to lie to you. It trades the built in emotional connection of a beloved hero for a boundless potential of a blank slate. It could be the show's fatal flaw, or it could be the very thing that allows it to become the legendary adaptation that the franchise actually deserves.
I will say I will definitely be excited if they do kind of do that Fallout model where you have different characters.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a new game coming out and they put Easter eggs.
Yeah, and put that new character in the video game. Like that would be very cool.
Oh my gosh. Now, side note, I know we're right at the end of this video, but side note, if there's anyone watching who is a Swiftie, Easter eggs are everything. So if they do Easter egg the new game for like in the actual show, oh, there could be Mass Effect like clowns.
Oh yes.
Oh gosh. And if anyone doesn't know what a clown is or clowning, yeah, Swifties we know.
Yeah, look it up. It's a big thing in the Swiftie spam base.
Yep. But
I
for
get
now,
to hear all about it.
For now, though, all we can do is watch and wait with a healthy dose of Citadel level skepticism and hopeful N7 level heart. The mission is a go, the characters are new, and the galaxy is waiting. Let's just hope they don't screw this up.